Welcome to another round of Spudventures. This week we are back in Waterdeep for session 25 of the Forgotten Ones, our D&D 5e campaign. So take it away, our GM GreatDinn.
Hey, hi, hello everybody. Welcome once again to, as Spud said, our Dungeon of the Mad Mage adventure with a bit of a twist. I am GreatDinn, your GM, and joining us as always, we have Usk of House Castellanter, played by Newbiespud.
Hello.
We have Yuliy, played by AvisEcho.
One day I'm going to remember what all these buttons do.
We have Jhank, played by Space Jawa.
Hi.
We have Lander Brightwood, played by Azure Mountain.
Hello.
And we have Victor, played by DigoDragon.
Going to be wolves all the way down.
Yes!
When we last left our adventurers, they had cleared the 5th level of the Undermountain, rescued a dragon, and decided to return to the surface to help Hollyhock get rid of a sword. And also in the process, try to find Victor's apprentice, who has been kidnapped for a few days now. So they went to the surface. They sorry, brain having trouble Englishing right now. Went to the surface. They got Hollyhock a new weapon. They explored a little bit of Castle Waterdeep, their new free pathway up, even though it does take quite a bit of a walking. And they left a note for the citizens of Skullport that those who are suffering from the curse of the Undermountain can, in fact, visit Topside at least for a little while. Something that may help alleviate the tension growing in the city. The specific last we left off is Lander, Usk, and Jhank. We're all in the temple to Shantae. They had, along with temporary ally Dunbar, the Shantaean priest, found a wolf carcass in the offerings, which was a little suspect for a variety of reasons. And a note inside the wolf mentioning that Victor could not hide behind his bugbear forever. To which the rest of the party basically walked out into the public area, flipped everyone the bird, and said, "Come and have a go."
Yeah, kinda.
Kind of, sort of.
Looking sus.
More polite, yes, definitely cleric looking sus. You also got from the head priest that the people were a dwarf and Aasimar, and the recent strangers that made a notable stop by the temple were a dwarf and Aasimar, and a third that no one could quite remember. So yeah, that's sort of how we're starting. And Victor and Yuliy and Hollyhock went to go get Hollyhock a new sword at the Hailfire Armory, where they caused some amount of mischief.
We had fun. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And they gained and lost respect rapidly with the blacksmith.
Yes. It's a little bit complicated. Taria is not the most scrutable. I guess that's the way to phrase it. Not the most scrutable shopkeep.
They're fine.
Yes. So I believe specifically your last message was, if you want to have a talk, you know where to find us.
Yep, that was my message to the crowd, assuming that they would be either listening or have someone watching out, or some kind of contact in the area.
Yes, exactly. So where are you going next? Are you all meeting back up somewhere, or are you going to further explore the enormous city of Waterdeep and all of its wonders?
I don't have any other errands to run, so I'd probably look to meet up with the rest of the group.
I mean, maybe go see how Miles is doing.
Yeah, you can
yeah,
do
we
that.
can do that, yeah.
See if he's gotten those rituals prepared.
Yes, he did ask you, or you did ask him, sorry, for Water Walk and Water Breathe. Let me go ahead and make a small roll. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Yeah, let me pull up where is the south part of Waterdeep? Southwest? Is that the one? No. Southeast is the one I was looking for.
It's a big old city.
It's a really big city.
Mm-hmm.
I believe. Wait, which of these? Sorry, I'm trying to remember exactly what street I had him on. It's been a while. And I did not write that particular detail down. I believe he is, yes, here. Putting up a little thing. I was wrong. It is the southwest.
Okay.
He is, didn't mean to do that. He is on Adder Lane.
Ah, right, yeah.
Yes. Near the docks because his dad works on the docks. All right. Yes. So you find relatively little trouble going south through Waterdeep. Sorry, getting a whole bunch of messages on Discord. There we go. Just suddenly got a whole bunch of beeps in my ears, and I was like, yes, you find relatively little trouble walking through Waterdeep. It's a fairly busy day, especially since you're coming all the way up north to the south side of the city. There's a hell of a lot of time spent walking in this particular case. So what about while you three are doing that, Yuliy, Victor, did you have something you wanted to do? Or did you plan on meeting up with the group?
I'm pretty sure we were avoiding the guards who were really upset that I had to fire a heavy crossbow up into the sky.
You sure did have her do that.
Yes, it was fun though.
Mm-hmm. So I do believe at the very end of that, I did say that you rolled well enough to sort of just avoid them while leading them just generally away from the Hailfire Armory. So what is your next step?
I mean, this was our intention, so I guess you try to find everyone. Unfortunately, we don't know where that's going to be because no one has the ability to contact the other.
Yeah, we never really decided
And
on
I
a meeting
think that
place
we're
either.
going to probably be walking around for a bit before we actually realize we don't know where everyone's going to be. So we just go to Usk's house.
Okay.
There you go. That's as good as any.
And I sit in his chair.
Oh no.
Assuming the door's unlocked.
Yeah, that's the thing. The door kind of needs to be unlocked for that to happen.
Misty step.
I guess technically, yes, that would work if you really want to burn that.
Although I do now have a way to send one-way messages.
Okay.
Yeah, Galder's Speedy Courier.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
can just write a note and send it.
You could, in fact, do that.
No replies, though.
Yeah, no replies. It's kind of got a weird man in the middle problem.
Yep.
So, let's see. How about
I mean, it's got to be great for sending orders since nobody can question them.
yes, nobody can question them. No, seriously, that you're right. That would be pretty good for like large scale combat.
Well, it's the man in the middle problem. You also can't like confirm that the orders have been received and will be followed in case you need to coordinate.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the two generals problem actually.
That was the one I meant to say, and I don't know why I said man in the middle.
There are failsafes in the spell itself, so that the receiver knows what is in the box and also who sent it. And if they do not take the items out of the box, then they just return back to the sender's feet when the spell ends.
Interesting.
So
that still doesn't resolve it because you don't know if they saw the contents of the box or if they decided not to. Or if
they could just take it out and then do something else with it.
Yeah.
Whole bunch of theoretical problems. I love treating spells like programming.
It is fun.
Then.
Yeah.
It is fun.
Except when it becomes extremely like programming.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you need a rubber duck, suddenly things have gone
Mhm.
very wrong. How about Usk and Yuliy? I'm gonna just arbitrarily have the two of you roll a d20.
Sure thing.
I have great news, Yuliy. You do, in fact, just on the way to Usk's place, run into that group.
Aww.
So you
Ouch.
can meet up if necessary, or you can split up again. But that was just a roll to see like how good direction wise are y'all? Because
Oh.
it seemed reasonable there was a chance you could meet up. I mean, obviously, Usk, you know the city like the back of your hand. I just mean like moving through it.
Yeah. Well, hello there, Yuliy and company. Any other errands you're trying to run? We've left our message with the potential kidnappers, and we're just checking in on Miles. But yeah, other than balls in our adversary's court for the moment.
Cool. Everything was fine. Nothing happened. It was fine. We got Hollyhock, awesome weapons, and I guess we're not together again. We are mission accomplished.
I nod.
right.
I nod as though I completely understand that means that something went wrong.
I mean, yeah.
Hollyhock leans over to Yuliy and goes, "Are you sure we shouldn't tell them about the whole guard situation?"
I mean,
Or-
clearly
Everything's
everything's fine.
Holly.
It's not as if you're very noticeable people.
Hollyhock looks offended and goes, "I am the epitome of stealth."
Mm-hmm.
I kind of get a funny look on my face at that and let that slide.
She's definitely being sarcastic.
Okay, good.
We are both the epitome of stealth. Clang, clang, clang.
But yeah, might as well stick together in case they decide to jump us, because we have put ourselves on their radar.
And we can introduce Miles and yeah.
Oh, we're gonna see Miles?
Yeah.
We're gonna see Miles.
Holly, we're gonna meet another friend.
Okay. I
Wait,
look
wait,
forward
this-
to it.
Wait, this could go badly. Wait a second.
It could. Or
Miles
it could
might-
not.
Miles might remember Hollyhock, but the wrong Hollyhock.
Possibly.
And again, it would be Data, but there's a risk that it would exacerbate the sort of elephant in the room problem.
Cognitive dissonance.
I mean, the
Though
original
Don't
One
know
of
if you.
us that he met were not us now, so really it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah, but
'Cause,
Miles isn't really in the loop on all that.
Personally, right now, I'm imagining this conversation as in character just being a lot of awkward stares to one another.
Yeah,
Every now and
basically.
again, every now and again, the frame just lands on Hollyhock, and she's just like, "I don't know what's happening."
The part
Yeah.
that sucks with just audio is that the entire time I'm emoting with my hands, so you can't really see it because I have no self-control.
Meanwhile, Jhank just looks like he doesn't care.
I mean,
Yeah.
it seems reasonable.
The question is, was Hollyhock with us when we went down with Miles? Because she might have not been. That might have been a previous iteration of ourselves.
Well,
What does it matter?
it's a risk that's not huge. It's not like existential. It's fine. Hollyhock can come along.
Worst case scenario, we'll find a way to talk our way out of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's Miles.
Worst case scenario, tackle the boy.
Sounds like you're making it sound like the kid's like the royalty of the city or something. No offense to
Nah.
him. Guys,
instead of like shitty apprentice wizard who managed to get really lucky.
I mean, hey, luck's a skill.
It is a skill. It's not a skill; it's a feature.
Yeah.
Sure. So yes, the trip south, as I said, relatively fine. Nothing major to speak of. You do get a few looks. There's a few guards who every now and again look at Yuliy and Holly like, are those the people I heard those other guys talking about? But nobody seems to be acting on it because y'all are kind of scary as a group, if I'm being real honest.
And also, Usk is a notable figure that people don't want to
with the
piss off.
Castellanter at the front, yeah.
Yeah, with the Castellanter at the front, it's definitely a let's not. I'm more likely to get demoted than promoted here. Or rather, I'm also more likely to get dropped to the bottom of the sea.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy my protective aura.
It's like a paladin's aura, except it's plus 10 notoriety.
Yeah.
I was about to make a joke off of that too.
Plot armor.
Yes. You make it to Adder Lane, relatively unscathed. Just a few weird looks. And you knock on the door, and it is Miles who answers. And he looks a little sort of like, oh, wasn't expecting to see you all. And before sort of opening the door wider and going, oh, please, come in. Sorry to keep you waiting.
It won't be long. Just checking in since we're in town.
Have we ever actually been inside of Miles's houses, or have we just like conversed at the doorway?
I think you've been in. I think two of you have been inside. I think Yuliy and Lander were inside briefly, but
It was a long time ago.
it's been a while.
There was
Yeah.
At the time there was a kerfuffle about Xanthar's guild tracking us while we were trying to check in with Miles.
Oh yeah.
So it was a very brief visit, and only a couple of you,
Yes.
while the rest of us were on watch.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The house smells kind of not rotten exactly, but the wood is very clearly old and not holding up maybe as well as it could be. It's a relatively small home. You can see that there's maybe one bedroom in the house. There's a fairly large kitchen / eating area near the front door, and a small corner. It has a tiny bookshelf and desk that seems too small even for Miles, but it's very clear that that's where all of his studying happens. You can see piled on top of the bookshelf are all of the good luck charms that seem to help him get out of the dungeon. All the things that the people of Adder Lane and family friends had given Miles to sort of cheer him on as he went with a proper adventuring party to do a proper adventure.
Hey.
Based on what you mentioned, what would I roll for Jhank to determine if the house is structurally sound?
That's an interesting question. Let me check skills real fast. And I think that's just
That might be investigation.
That might be investigation, I think. I think I could argue either investigation or perception.
Well, I've already rolled investigation, so.
With a 12, you can tell that the house is, it'll probably fall apart at some point, but it's still got a few years. It's one of the sort of downsides of living close to the water. Especially with, like you can tell that this sort of like this small section of neighborhood was clearly like thrown up because they just needed more and more workers, which is why the houses are so crammed together and small and kind of look like they're designed for maybe one person to live in, not a family. But you can tell that people make do. It's just Waterdeep happens to be, an extremely populous city.
Mm-hmm.
And space is kind of hard to deal with. The houses, these houses will probably fall apart within the next 10, 15 years. Could be sooner if any kind of disaster happens, but just from natural causes, they'll hold up a little while longer. But if you decided to go crazy, you could easily by yourself destroy this house. I wouldn't recommend it, but you could.
That would be mean.
That would be mean.
Mm-hmm.
So Miles will sort of that would be bad. What a
Go
good bad pun.
Yeah.
Sit in the corner.
Miles will fetch a dented looking kettle from a cabinet in the kitchen and sort of fill it with water. You see him actually, let me see if that is a cantrip, correct? Sorry, double checking something.
Does he use magic to
Prestidigitation
do?
can heat stuff up.
Yeah.
That's a cantrip.
Yes, he's going to basically he's going to basically fill a kettle with water, and you see him grab some tea leaves and a strainer, and basically start to prepare tea for all of you. As he looks to the rest of you and say, sorry, I don't have much, but I can make tea for you all. What are you here to talk about?
Just checking in. How are your studies going?
They're fine. He looks sort of like he's been taking things extremely slowly because of the the trauma he's dealt with.
That's fair. Yeah.
But the fact that he did use magic and sort of nonchalantly indicates that he's not he's not completely sort of spoiled on that end.
Mm-hmm.
He looks to the lot of you and then to Hollyhock and goes, who's your new friend?
This is
Miles, Hollyhock, Miles.
Hollyhock smiles awkwardly, waves, then leans over to Usk and go, "Is the boy always this awkward?"
Yes.
He went down to the Undermountain with us the last time we died. It was not pleasant. He's a bit traumatized.
Made it back up all by himself.
Yeah, and somehow made it back up all by himself, so cut him some slack.
Hollyhock nods and shuts her mouth.
Also, he is indeed a boy that doesn't have a whole lot of experience with people, I'm guessing.
No, he was more of an inside child in an area of the city that has a lot more outside children.
Yeah.
But he says, "Hello, miss. It's nice to meet you. I'm glad that you're that you all were able to make a new acquaintance." And he sort of goes awkwardly silent while the tea starts to or while the water starts to steam, and you hear the whistling of the teapot.
Lander, stop torturing him and just ask.
I figured it'd be rude to leave before the tea. Anyway. Yeah, any luck on those rituals that I asked you about?
Oh, well, I spoke with my tutor, and he gave me some books that I could look at, and I think I managed to get down something that might be usable for you, but I'm not really certain, and it's definitely not for both.
Okay.
But he says, just one moment, and he gets out 7 very different looking cups, just sort of the kind that you end up just with over time, that none of them match at all, and they're not a single teacup. Fills them, passes them out. It's extremely mediocre tea. if you're the kind of person who even likes it. And then he goes over to his small desk and pulls out an extremely messy looking book. Before bringing it over to Lander and opening up and saying, I think this might be useful for you. I don't know how long you're going to need to study it, but I I made a copy of this, so this one is yours, and if you return it, I can add more to it later. And inside the book is some surprisingly neat scribblings. It's a little difficult to parse just with a glance. But you can see that at the top it says water breathe.
Okay.
While his back is away from the group, Jhank involuntarily spits the tea back out. Then he looks around and then tries to hide it.
There's a dead plant that looks like it's absorbed a lot of tea over the years. If you want to dump it in there.
Yes, he will do that while he's not looking.
Yes. Don't worry. Miles is not paying attention.
I imagine that when Usk drinks, that he finds himself calling upon sort of muscle memory of remaining polite.
Yes.
When drinking something that's not really up to his, refined palate.
It is it's mediocre for those of you who don't really understand tea. Usk, it is swill.
But, I remain diplomatic.
Yes. I will say that those of you who drink it can get a distinct feeling of maybe why he uses this particular kind of tea. You feel a little perkier. The caffeine content of this is maybe a bit higher than the usual cup of tea.
I was not aware that tea had caffeine.
Yep.
Yep.
Depends on the kind. Like herbal tea doesn't, but just black tea will.
Most of the other teas do. I think black tea has the highest content, and then green is the lowest.
It's green is the lowest. It's I used to know this. It's green, black, oolong, pu'er, I think is the highest. But I don't remember the specifics, and I'm probably butchering the names. But I drink a lot of tea, so this is kind of my thing.
All right.
So yeah, you are. He has given you a way to sort of get water breathing into your rituals. But it's going to take a little while to sort of actually parse it down and put it in your book. But he did take the time to make sure that he wasn't going to be without his own spell book for a while, because that would be pretty bad, even for an apprentice wizard.
It would indeed.
To just I don't have my stuff.
So now, on to the topic of payment.
He sort of looks at you like, what?
Well, yeah, we didn't really discuss it last time, but I feel like it would be rude for me to just take your work without giving you anything in return.
Oh, it's not my work. It's my. I mean, I basically just transcribed it. It's mostly my master's teachings.
You do realize that there are people who make a living transcribing works.
There are?
There are?
Yeah. I mean, how do you think there are so many copies of books?
Yeah, I don't think that mass printing is not quite as big level. So I think you do have a lot of areas where it would be the monks are the ones that make all of the books.
Yeah.
Or stuff like that.
I doubt the printing press has been invented in this world.
I don't think so, no.
There are probably people who do transcribe books and then sell those and make money.
Yeah. I think there's probably ways to do it magically, but to get to that point, you have to be a high-level wizard or spellcaster of some kind.
Yeah, at least very specialized tradesman sort of wizard.
Yeah.
So, how much would be a reasonable amount to pay for this? That also wouldn't be ruining the value of money for Miles.
What a difficult question.
Yeah.
There's got to be like a table of services somewhere in the book, right?
There's gotta be. Give me just a moment.
Google, help.
This is gonna be okay. All right. I didn't mean to like smack my table there.
Man,
Okay.
being responsible makes everything more difficult.
It sure
Yeah.
does. Miles would have done this for free.
He would have, but
Yeah, we're well aware.
So it's a since water breathing is a level 3 spell, it would technically take 150 golds to transcribe it like properly. I think in this case, Miles is probably going to say,
Look,
50 gold?
yeah. How many days did you spend working on this?
It was pretty much all of yesterday and some of the day before. I don't think he kind of takes a deep drink of his tea, and at this point you all notice he's kind of got bags under his eyes. He's like, I kind of didn't wake up until maybe an hour ago.
Overtime then? 50 gold, you said?
I think that's probably fine. I think that's the cost of the book that my master loaned me.
Then for the days spent as a hireling, plus overtime for the rush job, make that a good 60, and we'll call it good.
all right.
Miles looks like he wants really desperately to object to all of this.
And
But-
you know, I'm gonna give him 69, so I have an even 500 left over.
Nice.
He looks at the gold and says, I really don't feel comfortable taking this.
Well, just take it as an advance payment for the next time.
Oh, okay. I'll
But also, don't work so hard. You need to rest a bit.
Yeah,
I should know. I've been a hermit for centuries, maybe.
You went through a lot on our behalf, and we do feel somewhat guilty for that. So take care of yourself first.
Okay. I'll do my best. And you see him sort of set the gold on his desk and look at it like it's a snake and it's going to bite him.
Mm-hmm.
He does not know what to do with that.
Find a good place to store that.
Yeah.
Yep. Keep it safe. If you ever need it, you got it. Otherwise, you can just forget about it until you do need it.
I suppose that's fair.
Are banks and banking a concept that exists
Should
in
be.
this world?
Yes, but much like I think widespread is probably not a thing. It's more like the wealthy and business owners are bankers, and the common people don't do that as much. Because like it took a long time for like regular people to be convinced that banking was acceptable for them, and for banks to think we should take money from people that aren't businesses or super rich.
Mm-hmm.
Because commerce is weird, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
So how much?
Go ahead.
How much does a dock worker make on like a monthly basis?
On a monthly basis, I think in a city like Waterdeep, where there's a lot of replacements, not that much.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's hard labor. I think it's probably I think they probably make maybe 5 to 10 silver in a week.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, like 30-ish silver in a month. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if your father ever stops being able to work for a while, you can use that to keep yourself afloat.
He looks comforted by that, as though that didn't quite occur to him at the moment. But
for magical services rendered for skilled hireling, the value is a lot higher. So if an incentive to keep to a career path that will help pay the bills, then yes, magic will definitely help a bit there.
Mm-hmm. Even if his adventuring days might be over before they kind of begun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Again, do not blame him. All right. Is there anything else you'd like to discuss with Miles, or deal with on this side of town?
I think that's it.
Can't think of anything.
Alrighty. Did you want to visit the Castellanters at all in any capacity?
I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of caught up with them on what I need to do and what my responsibilities are.
Did you ever? I'm having a little trouble remembering because of how long it's been. Do you remember if you ever did the drop off for Pocket?
The drop off for Pocket?
Yeah, the job of find out who might match who in Xanathar's guild might wanted to have caused.
I haven't done that because I know who the actual culprits are.
Yeah, that's okay.
I haven't really laid down the groundwork to pin it on a patsy, nor do I really feel like by proxy starting a war between the Castellanters and the Xanathar's guild a good idea at the moment.
I mean, perfectly fair. I just couldn't remember if you had or not.
No, I've not done anything with that, and have no plan for that yet.
All right. Perfectly acceptable. Just wanted to double check. Okay. In that case, head back to Usk's house.
Yep.
Head back to Usk's house. Read his books while we wait.
Hey.
I don't think you even have to do that, because waiting for you at the door is a human, looks like some sort of male person, who hands you a letter, Usk. Before walking away silently in kind of a daze, it looks like.
Interesting. I take a couple steps away from the group and open the letter.
I'm gonna use perception on the guy that looks dazed.
Looks over Usk's shoulder.
Now, so what spell was that?
What spell was that?
Yeah.
What an excellent question. Command.
Sounds about right.
Outstanding. Yeah, just took a couple steps away for it. Yeah, just in case the words on the letter were "I prepared explosive runes today." Yeah. All right. The letter says, "If a meeting you want, a meeting you shall have. Make sure you bring Victor and his book to the top of the Shugain, or crossed out Sahuagin humbled. We'll be waiting with his friend."
Oh boy.
They misspelled that word.
Sahuagin.
Sahuagin.
Yep.
Those fish people. Right.
So what is the Sahuagin humbled?
Probably a bar.
It's not a bar. There's a bar at the bottom of it, but it's not a bar. The Sahuagin humbled is one of the walking statues of Waterdeep, or I guess formerly walking statues of Waterdeep. You actually met Eris at the bar at the bottom of it.
Well, that's
here, and you can see it. Yeah, you can see there's a big old star and Sahuagin humbled. I don't feel like I need to mark it.
Yeah, we see it. Yeah,
so that's what the other three are as well.
Yes. Anytime you see, there's actually several. There's like 12, I think. But there's the Griffin, the Hawkman, the Great Drunkard, the Lady Dreaming, the God Catcher, the Sahuagin humbled. all sorts of stuff like that. I should probably grab the picture real fast.
Yeah, that would be lovely. If you got it kicking around.
Yes, I do. It's not, I don't believe it's here in, well, maybe it's in here. Let me double check if it's actually in Fantasy Grounds, because I pulled up, I found an image of it earlier. If I can spell Sahuagin. There we go. Nope, that's the map. Okay. All right, I'll have to just grab the image. Copy image location. Here's that. That statue is the Sahuagin humbled.
Oh.
Putting it in the chat. Whoops, that didn't work.
Dang, that's a big old one.
They're all enormous.
Big old bearded man.
It looks like a living dust storm.
Oh, I'm not logged
It's
in.
very gray and so far away that the light refraction is interesting.
Yeah. Apparently I'm not logged into Twitch, which is going to cause me problems. Give me a moment.
I know you're saying it's a statue, but what I see is some kind of dust storm elemental.
Admittedly, that is very cool.
Yeah. It could be that added a lot of dust piled up on it and it's all just falling off. As
Yeah.
it bends over.
What?
I
Oh.
got it.
If it was once a moving statue, then this could be this particular image could be a depiction of it moving, which is why there's dust clouds beneath its feet near the street.
Yeah, it's definitely, that's its final resting pose, is that kneeling. That's why it's the humbled. But yeah, it's like the Lady Dreaming was this enormous walking statue with of a woman that when it fell landed sideways, so it looks like it's sort of buried in the earth and sleeping.
Oh. So when's the Shadow of the Colossus campaign set in Waterdeep?
That's a good. That would be a really fun idea, actually.
Isn't that Theros?
I mean, to be fair, yes, the Theros one is pretty much going to have that. So at some point, because Titans. There we go. Now I can post on. Nope, that's the wrong one.
I posted it in Twitch.
Oh, you've posted it in Twitch? Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, because I could not.
It's okay.
And just as another like, oh, what do they look like? Here is the one known as the Godcatcher.
Dang.
Yeah. Worth noting.
Basketball.
Yeah, worth noting. A good chunk of them have been like, because they're these enormous statues that are otherwise just taking up a bunch of room. A bunch of them have been hollowed out and like used for like homes or businesses.
Neat.
Yeah.
Which is why meet me at the top of the Sahuagin humbled is a thing that is possible.
The Great Drunkard, just two legs sticking out of the ground.
I know one of them actually is basically that, but I don't think it's the Great Drunkard.
Well,
I know the yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, it's fine. I wasn't really going to say anything else.
Well, they didn't specify a time, so we might as well go immediately, and they'll probably... We probably have to stake it out until they arrive. Unless they're staking it out.
They'll be staking it out
Yeah.
until we arrive.
Yeah.
It's
Either way.
It's the location they picked, so they'll probably try to get the jump on us if possible, so...
Oh, it's absolutely a trap.
Unless they're completely incompetent, they've probably already prepared the place.
They're competent enough to have sent a commanded messenger, so... Let's not underestimate them.
Should I like wild shape human for this or
Wild shape human.
Just another beast.
The most dangerous animal, man.
Well, they need you there. And they may or may not know you can shapeshift into a wolf.
I mean, if you wanted to become a human, we could just give him the crown.
that?
But Victor is human.
But what if we put the crown on the wolf Victor?
I mean,
No.
putting the crown on the human
No.
Victor makes a different looking Victor. That's how that works.
Stop this.
Sure that doesn't like void the warranty on that thing?
I'm pretty sure. All right. Is there a way? Aha! Now I know how to do this. Sorry, I realized there was one thing I forgot to do on this map. So, alrighty. So y'all are gonna go up to the Sahuagin Humbled, huh?
Yes.
All right.
I guess so.
You arrive at the
Victor, it's your choice whether you want to stay as a wolf or return to your human form for this.
Yeah, I'll go human just so I can talk. Otherwise, it'd
Makes
just be barks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I see. Oh ho. Sorry, that's
Persuasive.
just a really.
Bark! No, you're wrong.
How dare you, sir? That would be really funny to do an entire like hostage negotiation as a dog.
Right?
Mr. Wolfington.
Yes. All right. You reach the bar at the feet of a Sahuagin Humbled, and it's fairly easy for y'all to head to the back of it, which is how you get further up it. And yeah, it has been basically in many ways hollowed out. You can see there's a staircase leading up. There's one on the outside of the leg, and there's one on the inside of the like kneeling leg. Both of which lead up to various sort of small crevices and buildings, or crevices and like homes that have sort of been built into the statue. Some levels have been, some larger sections have been flattened out to provide a platform to sort of stand on, get a beautiful look over the city the further up you go. And finally, after a little while, you end up at the top here.
Oh,
Let me go ahead and
A lot of 5-foot squares.
let me go ahead and put you all on this map.
I'm concerned with all those 5-foot squares.
The thing you notice as soon as you get up there is that the ground around here is covered in paper.
What?
Mhm.
Okay.
Interessant.
Well, I have a bad feeling about that.
So this is the so to clarify something, everything you can see here that is sort of, you can see like into it, it is carved flat. They have like the shoulders and whatnot have been sort of flattened to allow this as a big, enormous viewing platform. That the head is the only exception to this. It is still whole, but there is not a good way for me to show like the area under the chin and whatnot. So just presume that I'm going to put a circle down, and that is the area that is like blocking everything. Okay.
Mhm.
So like here, you basically can't see from one side or the other. Make sense?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right. So yes, there are a whole bunch. Those 5-foot squares all represent paper that is just stuck to the ground. And you can see there is some
Paper cut?
No cat being a butt.
Hmm.
No bite. Bad.
And let me just go ahead and do something real fast. Whoops, almost deleted a token instead of making it visible. Whoops. You can see to your, I guess to picture right, you see a halfling sitting on a box, a tall Aasimar in plate armor, and a small dwarfish-looking figure in plate armor. And on the left, you see the same thing.
Uh-oh.
And from both and from both directions, you hear the halfling speak, as he says, "So good of you to join us. I see you have Victor. Victor, do you have the book?"
The book.
Alrighty then.
You have my friend.
We do. He's on one of our sides, and you see the halfling sort of lean over to his left, and grab something that doesn't appear to be visible, before pulling a rope off, and you hear Eris's voice coming from, again, both sides, as he says, Master, run! It's a trap!
We can see that, thank you.
Yep.
Of course, it's a trap.
All right. So I
John,
don't
You go right, I go left.
so I don't want to use meta, but I feel like I should point out that some of these tokens have a red outline around them and some do not.
Mm-hmm. That's because I can only put down one in the combat tracker.
Ah, okay.
Otherwise, I would have put down both.
For our
Good to know.
purposes, they are identical for now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm going to be blunt. They could be on either side.
Arcana.
Yes. An Arcana
Not
roll.
the best.
No, you're pretty sure this is illusion magic.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay. Let's see.
So,
Should I
Jacques, you
just-
go right, I go left.
Should I just cast Dispel Magic?
I mean, you can.
If it's
I very well could.
here's the thing: we do anything that's not an instant speed, they're going to have a chance to, hurt or kill him.
Well, it's an action.
I can't remember. Crunch Bite should be here too, shouldn't he?
Oh, yes. Sorry, I forgot to add Crunchbite to the. Crunchbite's on the tracker. I just forgot to put them on the chart.
So, question.
Mm-hmm.
Who is actually in the groups? Who is holding Victor's friend?
As far as you can tell, none of them.
He's just there.
Invisible and
that's
being
the thing.
projected from both sides.
Yeah, invisible. All you heard was a voice and saw the halfling pull a rope off of something.
So how do you expect this to work?
It's simple. Victor stays there, stays with his book. You all leave, and in a few minutes, my friends will bring down his friend, and we'll all go on our merry way back to where we came from.
So what's with all this paper?
Ah, I'm glad you asked. It's insurance.
They're bombs.
Explosive runes?
Probably.
I'm sure you're all familiar with glyphs of warding, correct?
I'm not.
Oh, you're dead meat.
I think our terms are more than fair. It's a simple exchange.
Not that simple.
Maybe you can provide us with some context to make this go smoother. Why do you need Victor?
Look, I'm not personally terribly interested in this. I just got paid for it. If you want some more concerned parties, you can either check with the one who hired me, or... And the halfling turns to the Aasimar, who steps forward and very tersely says, we seek the truth, nothing more.
I see, and you're clearly not worried about interfering with the operations of House Castellanter.
The halfling sort of perks up at that and says, ooh, House Castellanter, is that who you work for? I must get in touch with you at some point. I've been looking for a big hire for quite some time.
Well, this is not going to look good on your work history.
I don't know if
Victor's working
this
for
doesn't
me.
go
And
well and I kill you.
Victor's working for me, and I work for the Castellanters, and I am unbelievably valuable to the Castellanters.
I'm sure.
To use.
Just seems to me that if you really did work for the Castellanters, you might not be so sloppy? I guess that's the term. I mean, clearly you could have tried to find us beforehand rather than just come out and publicly make a fool of yourself.
I suppose that's true, but maybe I'm just that confident.
Yes, well, the confidence of men and the confidence of fools are split by a hair.
So who here thinks that they're not actually on either side?
Oh, they're not. They're in the circle.
Ooh. Oh, someone's so clever. Or at least they think they are.
I like to think I am.
I
You're
think
not,
a lot of things.
at all.
The dwarf looks to the halfling and says, can you stop being an asshole and hurry this up? I hate being this high up. And the halfling takes a moment, sighs, and says, fine, fine. Let's talk peacefully then, I suppose. What would your terms be?
Well, how do you plan on getting down?
Oh, we have our ways out. I know that you're probably thinking, oh, well, if they have to go to the bottom, then at some point we'll just be able to jump them again. But we have some friends who are quite good with teleportation.
Understandable. Good choice.
After all, I do not plan on making that whole walk back.
Damn, if we let them get Victor, Victor gets teleported out and then he turns to dust.
Mhm. That would be bad.
That would be very bad.
I mean, should we use that?
No.
I mean, if they want him alive, teleporting him out.
So you want Victor alive and out of Waterdeep?
Correct. At least that's what I was hired for. It's a little more pressing that we get the book, but Victor is very much requested.
That might be a problem.
And why do you say that?
Because our souls are bound to the Undermountain.
Let me roll insight for all three of them. So let's do this. Oops. Damn it. It keeps doing a thing where I can't click on the tower to do things properly.
4, 5, 6.
What are you counting?
Nothing.
Movement squares.
Nothing.
The problem is those wards probably have like a 10-foot range, so they're all basically landmines.
You underestimate me.
And they've got them
Who's
spread out in
resistant to
about
magic?
10-foot spots.
Also, who said anything about walking?
What would it take to set him off?
Getting near them, probably. Whatever trigger
Like
they decided to put on them when they installed the glyph.
Almost said his name there. The halfling frowns, and the Aasimar, rather, the halfling frowns, turn to the Aasimar, and the Aasimar simply nods. And the halfling turns back to you and says, well, my friend here seems to think that you're telling the truth, and so do I, so I'll be blunt, that pretty much sucks for me. That's half of our paycheck gone.
If your bosses want Victor alive, they're going to have to come here.
Oh, well. I don't think they're going to like that information very much, but at the very least, I need to bring something back, and I don't think they're going to like this apprentice, so at the very least, could we have the book?
Show me my friend, I'll show you the book.
The halfling rolls his eyes, pulls the rope back off, and the whole body appears, and it is Eris. He looks a little bruised and battered, but otherwise unharmed. He looks like he's maybe not eaten much in the last 2 days. But he looks to your group and says, Master, please just run. My life is worth that.
Your life is worth more than
The book.
running away. I don't care too much about the book at this point compared to saving my friend's life here.
What does the goddess think?
That's going to take a while to get back to you on.
Can we maybe have asked along the way?
Sure. I mean, you would have had a little bit of time before, actually getting to the Solhagen that you could have tried to write in the book. So what specifically would you like to ask, Victor?
Well, we're probably walking into a trap. I mean, how valuable is me keeping this book compared to saving my friend's life?
And if we need to keep the book at all costs, what's the best way through?
So
all on a high balcony with a bunch of explosive charges planted around. Also using an illusion, so we're not sure which side they're actually on. This is a pretty good hostage setup.
Oh, so Din, I don't think I'm supposed to be able to do this, but I can if I wanted to, I could kind of move the tokens on the right side of the map.
Again, I can only put down one of the locked set of tokens. So
Oh, okay.
please don't, I guess.
I didn't realize that that's what that meant.
Honor
I'm like,
system.
why did I move them? I won't move them.
So
Can
I
get it
make
direct.
my book look similar to Digo's book?
You might be able to.
Well, there we go.
Unless they can see through illusions.
Yeah.
How well do they know us, is the question.
And how well do they know the book?
Yeah,
Well, they were hired, so in theory, not at all.
yeah.
Yeah, but they also
What?
seem fairly capable, so they'll probably have... I think the Aasimar in particular is probably pretty perceptive.
Mm,
There's something notable about the Aasimar that you'll maybe discover if you
I'm
ever get their
certain
name.
that there's someone from the church.
Not quite. It's a
Well,
little more it's a
okay.
little more complicated than that. They're not wearing any symbols of Shantae. They definitely look like a cleric, but not for Shantae.
They want to know the truth. And they don't really care about the means. That probably is some sort of hint.
sounds less about the truth and more about perpetuating propaganda.
Or they might have some kind of personal stake in this that we can use.
Considering
Loud
they
enough to
don't-
hear, I'm totally not punching bears right now.
I mean, considering they don't want to just kill Victor and destroy the book, it's not
They're
like they want to
mercenaries.
completely wipe it out.
They're mercenaries.
Right.
Hey, they're not.
I know. I'm talking about them as in like the people who hired them. They
It could
don't
be
want
that,
to do that.
or maybe they want to like really make a demonstration.
Yeah.
It could
Could
kind of go
be.
either way.
Or the
They
book
could
might-
also just
pretty
want to make
likely,
absolutely
yeah.
sure that they're gone.
Mhm.
Or the book might have some extra secret that we don't know about that's very valuable.
Mm-hmm.
So, Din, can you one clarify one thing and two say another thing? That 10-foot, that 10 radius circle. What is that again?
That's the
That
neck
is the
of the
neck
statue.
of the statue.
Okay. Okay. Mm.
Basically, that makes it so that we cannot see underneath the chin from our current position
Right.
because our sight line is blocked.
Yes. And of note, the statue's head is a good 30 feet taller than from where you are. So, like, it's not going to be an easy jump up if you want to try and go high and jump over everything.
No, I thought that was something else. And
No. It is just the neck of the statue. It is
And-
not, as far as you know, hollowed out. There's no,
I thought it
distinct
was an empty
things.
space.
Huh?
I thought it was an empty space.
No, it's not empty space. It's the neck. I should probably real fast say one thing, and that is, let me get the map name because I forgot that I meant to say what I got this map from, and this is from shoot, where is his name? From Reddit user Mr. Valor, who did a map a day thing, and I thought this was an extremely cool one, so
Oh, neat.
I grabbed it.
Thank you.
So yes, it's in the bottom left corner. There's a map Vember Day 27 automaton by /u/Mr. Valor. So
There we go.
wanted to make sure I credit my sources when I take them.
Hey, yo.
So sorry, I'm trying to get this message finished.
Hmm.
And they can see us from here
Mhm.
or where we are. Because I see corners and line of sight is funny.
Yeah. Again, so I'm going to say like all of the like sort of raised areas, those are like half height.
Okay.
So they're not. This area is mostly flat. It is, as I said, kind of a viewing platform for the city.
So in
There-
theory, should there not have been glyphs of warding, you could like vault over.
Yeah, you could vault over
Yes.
those little chest high walls.
Yeah.
Okay, that's helpful.
Chest
Uh,
high.
More like waist high, but yeah.
Sorry. Newbiespud, what was your half of the question to clarify? I just want to make sure I'm getting everything in before I send this off.
If the book is so valuable that we must keep it at all costs, can the goddess see anything that will be of great use to us? Because this is pretty nasty. And if they gotta teleport out, like... Honestly, like, what I would want in this, if given a second chance to the situation, is some kind of air support. See if we got, like our own, like, winged support to... Lander your owl.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Can't really do a whole lot though, aside from like let me
Maybe
cast spells farther. I think.
Fly around, see if they're, like, on the other side of the neck, or...
Oh yeah.
Maybe get a second angle to see the illusions from that might help. Yeah, just have your owl be, like, watching the other side. Or getting a bird's eye view of the area.
Mm-hmm. So assuming that finger is at the correct height, it's just gonna watch from there.
Yeah, seems reasonable.
These blue rune circles with the orbs, are they signifying anything on this map or no?
They seem to be sort of magic lights that people use on the viewing platform at night. Currently, they appear to be inactive.
Gotcha. Okay.
They might possess some sort of magical amplification properties if jury rigged, but as it stands, they're just lights.
I see.
Paper glued to the floor?
Basically, yes. Not exactly glued, but it is being magically kept down. You don't really want these things kind of flying around.
Well, I mean,
you can have them flying around, but you probably don't want them. I believe I sent the message, so...
Lander, do you know light? Or something like it?
Let's see.
Like set the paper on fire?
I mean, I've got something that rhymes with light, but would be not useful in this situation.
I got something that sort of rhymes with light too.
Smite! The halfling sort of glances up towards the sky and the, ever-moving sun, and turns his head back to the lot of you and says, I would really love to stay here all day, admire the view, have a few drinks, but we are on a bit of a time crunch, so I'd just like you to make your decision if it's not too inconvenient. And you see the dwarf on both sides sort of backhand the halfling and say, I told you to stop being an asshole.
Really?
Yes. The halfling rubs their face and says, oh my god, Ivar, please stop being such a killjoy. You get paid just as well as we do.
Victor, what does the goddess say?
Well, if you part with me, we shall never be able to speak again. I cannot make that decision for you. I do not know what path you must take here, my Victor. Do not trust your eyes. You have seen all that you need.
Well.
Do not trust your eyes. You've seen all that you need.
I feel like we kind of already knew that. Some of it, anyway.
Some of it. But the question is...
Again, some of this you would have seen. This is, again, you asked for this beforehand, so...
Oh, yeah.
There's some element of that that's going to be coming into it.
Yeah.
So is there anything underneath the chin that my owl can see?
There's more platform and more runes.
But no people.
Or more glyphs, yeah, no people. It seems they have parked themselves on either shoulder.
Okay, question one for the party. Do we want to start beating up some of these people, or do we want to just go?
I'm literally 2 seconds from moving.
Okay, step two.
The question is, are you willing to risk your friend's life to put on a beatdown? Because that may be what happens.
Yeah, but
I understand if you're ready to do that, because our hostage did say that he's willing to put down his life for this. So I can only assume it must be that important, but it's really just, are you okay with that? Because this is your thing.
Well, we're kind of stuck between a rock and a statue here.
Do we fight or do we leave? Depending on the answer, may or may not Eldritch Blast.
Well, because there's paper all over the floor. The papers are all over the floor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yuliy, are you going stage left or stage right?
Had to think for a minute to remember stages.
Map left
Okay.
or map right?
Yeah, we should
Map left,
probably
map
do
right.
map left, map right. Because
Map
stages
west,
is
map
going to be
east.
reversed. Yeah.
I'm close to left. I can close the distance and still have movement.
Now, I could try to Eldritch Blast the person closest to your friend on both sides. Because I get 2 attacks with Eldritch Blast. Which, if that hits, might do something.
One reminder for me from the GM: there's 2 copies of the gang that we're facing off with.
Mm-hmm.
Is there 2 copies of my friend as well?
There are.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
If Lander's going to strike, he should strike the direction I'm not going, because that's a further distance.
Let me just.
Mhm.
I'm going to roll something real fast.
Now,
not an attack.
alternatively,
Not an attack.
I could dispel the magic with a spell slot. But if they're not on your side, then it might be bad.
Well,
We have ranged weapons.
Ranged weapons don't do a whole lot of damage, though.
how Lander?
it would at least prevent them from like acting freely.
Lander, how confident are you with your dispel magic?
I mean, let me see if it's got a range.
Excuse me.
120 feet? Yeah, I can do that.
I don't think it would apply to everything, though.
No. But what if you strike map
So,
left? Strike map left to give Yuliy a open
don't-
line to
I
get.
don't
so
need it.
I can choose
don't need
one creature, object, or magical effect within range, and any spell of 3rd level or lower ends immediately.
But that's just
Mhm.
one.
And since it's actually I think 4th level spell, any level of 4th level or lower gets dispelled.
That's a single target, though.
Yes,
But,
but it could also just affect the illusion itself.
yeah, target the illusion.
Well, here's my thought. Because if Yuliy is going map left, I can go map right, throw sphere of fire, roll it down, see if the fire burns through the paper. And basically split up, half go left, half go right, and we charge.
I think.
So do we want to do that, or do we want to dispel the magic of the illusion?
I
think-
would say if you can dispel magic one side.
Yeah, if we can determine
for
which of
it.
these sides is real, that'll be very important. Yes.
Go for
I
it.
Do
mean,
it.
Because if one side disappears, we know to go the other way.
Yeah.
And we all rush them.
That's the spell magic you have?
let me just get this out to 120 feet. So,
Is it safe to assume that none of you can leave, or is it just Victor?
None of us can.
Yeah.
Well, you all look like the scrappy sort, and I personally don't feel like fighting today if I can avoid it. Hence, gestures to all of the glyphs of warding.
Yeah, that's... I'll be honest, that might not be as much of a deterrent as you were hoping.
Well, I do my best. Let's see. So if none of you can leave, and I'm assuming I'm going to make an assumption here, please correct me if I'm wrong. None of you will be able to leave for quite some time, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Very well then.
We are trapped in Waterdeep and the Undermountain.
All right. I'm going to come over there, or at least one of me is, and just make absolutely certain you are who you say you are, and that the book is what you say it is, and if you'd so desire, we can avoid a fight altogether. Your friend will be coming back with us, but I will make sure that our employer returns him to this fine city when they come to get you personally. Does that seem agreeable to all of you?
Dispel magic when he comes over.
Well, why would we need to wait for him to come over?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Anyway, insight.
All right, let me just... Whoops, that's the wrong button.
Like,
Like making sense.
All perfectly reasonable. Ask, you want to roll too?
Why not?
Beat in 11. There you go.
Damn, y'all are all doing real well. Victor,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that just, sort of out of principle, especially because this guy still has your friend hostage, and the situation does not really remove your friend being a hostage. You don't quite trust it.
Nope.
As for everyone else, he's not lying. He's being, again, kind of an asshole about everything, but he's not lying. Whoops, I did not mean to expand that to 25 feet. That was a
Whoa.
misclick on my part.
The paper of that rune suddenly
magical
quintuples in
expand-
size.
Magical expanding explosive paper.
Mm-hmm.
It suddenly expands and it explodes.
yeah.
At this point, your employer is on our radar. The hostage isn't entirely necessary. If they want a meeting, we'll be more than happy to attend.
Oh, I'm sure, but let's put it this way. The last time, if I remember... What was that thing you were telling me about? What was it? And he turns to the Aasimar at this point, and the Aasimar looks between the halfling and then looks to your group, and then you see them take a moment, and they they take a firm stance, set their maul into the ground, both hands set on it, and state, "It is declared, the last time a heretic spoke with the council of Shantae, without bargaining power, both sides suffered greatly."
I see. So this is the path of peace, then. Taking a man hostage and treating him poorly.
It is the path of truth. That is all I seek.
I just see a path of
Yeah.
exploding paper.
But what is truth without morality?
Oh, I don't...
Yeah, let's not get into
Also, Lander, that coming from you.
that.
Wow.
The propaganda and hiding proper truth, but whatever. You clearly don't care about the multiple truths of the world. You just want one truth where multiple truths could exist. That's
I mean,
kind of shallow.
The Aasimar does not seem to give a shit what you think.
yeah.
Very set in their ways. And even if we deal with you, we'll have to deal with your employer eventually if you don't report back.
Well, they'll probably just send more people until they run out of people.
Can we get
They
Can we
have
get
access to
assurances that
other
you'll
people.
treat your hostage with care?
The The halfling sort of shrugs. You get the distinct feeling that he shrugs and says, well, it's not really any of my business. The only reason we haven't been able to feed the poor deer is because we're working on a very tight budget until we get our money.
So what if we just pay you more?
Can we buy out your
Tempting.
contract?
For me, potentially.
Probably not your cleric friend, but you personally.
No. And the dwarf sort of looks at you all surly in a very, very surly expression and says, and not me either.
Okay.
No, that's good to know. It was an honest question, I promise.
The Aasimar nods when you say that.
They do have a point. We fight and take care of these people now, they will just send more mercenaries. And there's no guarantee that we can make Victor's friends safe until
No
this is
guarantee that's
actually
even
over.
my friend.
That's true. Until this is over. Ending this now would not really end this now, but we might be able to actually end this later. If we meet with the Council of Shantae.
He did say that their employer would bring the guy back to the city when they went to meet Victor personally. But did he say that they would bring him back safely and not as a corpse?
He did not specify no. But the further conversation seems to imply that it's less a matter of choice.
He's no use to them as a corpse. He's only of use to them as a hostage to get to Victor in the book. So they're not going to let him die, but... Alright, then I say, you tell your employers that if our friend there is harmed or treated poorly when they return with him, then there will be no deal and they will never see the book again.
I'm perfectly willing to deal with that. Let me just write up a quick contract, just to be safe. And you see the halfling on the right side of the map get off the box that they're in, open it up, and pull out what sure looks like a pre-written contract with those exact requirements based on the fact that all he does is sign his name on it. And you see him walk past all of this, making sure to deliberately step on a few of these as he trudges through, before stopping at you, Lander, and saying, Victor, I'm going to need your signature first, of course.
Oh. Oh.
Well, let's just go ahead and investigate this.
Do you mind if I at least check the paper, make sure there's nothing underhanded on it?
Oh, absolutely. You're good with contracts.
Are these magically binding?
So real fast, Lander, what is the specific investigation?
Just reading the contract.
Okay. It is
fine print.
It is pretty much. There's not fine print. It is pretty much exactly as described. That this particular group, who has been hired by the Council of Shantae, it lists their names which you finally can see. The one Merlin Yanish, one Ivar Grosny, and one known as just the Supplicant of Truth.
Oh,
I
boy.
wonder which one that is.
Yeah, little simple on that. Little notable on that one.
If it's
yes?
clear that there's not fighting happening, Jhank's just gonna start down the statue.
Not
Seems
yet,
reasonable.
Jhank. Not yet.
I
I hold your shoulder.
Yeah, among other things, the halfling's going to say, "I'll need your signature too, lizard man. I need to make sure that everyone who's part of this group has made clear our terms."
Yeah, so...
Now,
I
did he
don't
hand
see
that
why.
directly to me when he said he'd need Victor's signature first?
He did.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see why I would.
So
I would be part of this.
you're with the group. You've been with the group for a while, and you are in effect the same kind of bodyguard as that bugbear is for Victor, even if it's not a proper situation. We just like to cover our bases.
Yeah, I'm not good with signing contracts.
Well, I suppose you need to learn then.
So I have a couple other questions, real quick.
Real fast, Usk. So you are checking to make sure this contract is like legally and magically binding?
Yeah, and try and suss out like what he actually wants from us signing this paper.
You get the distinct feeling based on this that it is in some capacity magically binding. But it seems like this was basically what he wanted all along, because again, he had this pre-written. It was basically him just being like, I don't really want to fight y'all. Y'all look like it would be really complicated to deal with, hence this whole situation.
Fair enough.
So basically, he played us.
Kinda, yeah. A little bit.
Played us in a cowardly way, but yes.
Yes. Y'all y'all definitely could have called his bluff. And let me just check one more thing real fast. But among other things, you can also tell that one part of the contract is that they will do their part to keep your apprentice safe, Victor.
So, real quick here. Was I with Usk during the whole first meeting with the guy?
You were with us at the temple.
I mean, with the apprentice.
Yes, you all were in the same room.
So everyone except for Victor was there.
Yeah, I mean, Victor was in the room. He was just hiding.
So it seems like... Man, because it seems like some people think I'm Victor, but some people don't.
Oh, was that what you were trying to investigate?
Oh no, my investigation was just the contract.
No,
This
I
was
mean
just after the
like...
fact. Oh, with my
That's
question,
what I'm
yeah,
freaking out over.
yeah. Because there's also that one dream that Yuliy had.
Friends, I do have something I want to say.
Yes?
Of the two people that look to be my friend, it's neither. My friend's not within 1,000 feet of the statue.
Aha!
Fun, then.
Okay.
Yuliy, go to town.
Excellent. Let's do this.
So, I guess I'll just dispel magic on the illusion.
Which one?
Well,
which shoulder do you want to target?
I would think that he would, anyway, he wouldn't send himself in front of us. So I think the right side is the illusion.
I mean, they could both be illusions. I don't know.
Yeah,
They
it could.
both be.
We don't know how powerful these guys actually are.
I'm still of the. Well, he's able to do multiple glyphs of warding, but also I'm still of the assertion that they're not here at all.
With the
Garrett?
question of which one when asking about the illusion, that basically rules out it being a few things. Like what was that one thing? Mirror image?
I mean, that is certainly a spell, yes.
Yeah. That is a spell that creates 2 additional, or 3 duplicates of yourself, rather.
Yeah, but in the same spot.
Yeah, and it's not the case for this, especially if it's multiple different spells or the same spell cast multiple times. Well, I don't know what to do.
Just do something.
Yeah, if they're
All
if
right,
this
I've already got my idea what I'm gonna do.
At this point, they didn't bring their half of the trade. So I will not trust them any farther than I can throw them. And I'd like to throw them off the statue.
I'm going to dispel magic on the group of 3 that is still 3.
Okay.
Statue left.
As you do that, the halfling right next to you just slaps your hand and says, "No, no, no!" Counterspell.
Okay, well, let's see.
Punch him in the face.
I can't really.
Then you just use that right now? Then Misty Step and rush him.
As you hit that spot, what is the glyph of warding situation? Let me just check that real fast. Because here's the fun
thing. The one that was right next to me is the one that interacted with me physically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he prevented you from going this way.
True.
Let me double check this real fast.
So,
I need you to make a dex save, please.
Heck, where is my stuff? I love that.
Yeah, that's not going to do. It's not going to be quite enough. Let me just go ahead and roll 6d8 acid damage here.
Well, I'm already taking half.
It's a little difficult to do this. So I guess you're taking half of that?
Yes.
Because of her magical resistance.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you'll be taking, I guess it's 14 damage.
Yep.
So that was some sort of base spell.
Oh, that's not what I wanted to
using acid.
No, that's glyph of warding.
Yeah, I know. It's just looks like it's one of the spell glyph version rather than explosive rune. Or wait, no, they do take acid from explosive rune. Never mind, I didn't read it all the way.
Yeah, explosive rune can do any kind of damage or any kind of magic damage.
Well,
now does it use it up?
It does. Not one of the ones you can see though.
I also still have movement.
Well,
and I wanna go here, and then I wanna swipe through the halfling.
All right.
Sure.
Roll with disadvantage.
That's fun.
Neither is a hit.
That's fun.
Let me go ahead and let me go ahead and ID these guys for you. So even
I'm down a spell slot now, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So am I. It's fun.
As this happens, the one next to you says, Yes, I know your friend is not here, but we do know where he is, and if you do want to see him again, I highly recommend we stop this before things get violent. Well, looks to Yuliy, more violent.
Hun, you started this fight. And if I do a second attack, I assume it's still a disadvantage.
It's still going to be a disadvantage.
How
Not a hit.
How many spells did he prepare for this
2
battlefield
and then a
with?
1.
He's had 3 days,
Yeah,
so
3 days.
That's
No one
not
else has come up
insignificant
here in
amount.
that time.
Well, not enough to motions to the entirety of the top.
And still had spell
Right.
slots left over for counter spell, so
Well, you get your spells back at the end of a long rest.
Mhm.
However, let's see. What's the duration on Glyph of Warding?
Until triggered.
Okay.
That's one of the reasons I set this up. I was like, this is a cool trap for an illusionist. Because they can do a hell of a lot of stuff here.
Yeah.
It takes prep work, but illusionists can do some cool stuff.
cool and frustrating to go up against stuff.
Mm-hmm. Hence my earlier comment of I think this character will either be really cool or really frustrating, and I don't know which.
Could be both.
Could be both.
I do appreciate the prep work,
Oh, there's great
But the-
appreciation
but-
for prep work.
but the part of me that wants to solve problems is like,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is still solving problems.
I don't
Just
think
not
it
your
is.
way.
Right.
It's solving problems my way.
Well, I hope that way doesn't get you killed.
That's not. I'm fine.
You're
Okay.
invincible after all.
Mhm.
Hope.
Absolutely. Glad to see
Yeah.
you understand.
All right. Jhank, Usk, Victor. The other two have tried stuff. Would you like to have a go before full initiative is rolled?
I say, if you're not even going to present... We can't trust you on these terms in this contract. We're not going to sign anything. You're just going to have to take our word.
Hey, Jhank, see if you can punt this halfling that's in front of me.
Cut the potato.
Actually, I was gonna try. I was going to see if Jhank used the transformation version of Summon Bestial Spirit to turn Crunchbite into a flying creature. Would Crunchbite be able to lift Jhank up to the head so he could use that as a sniper's perch?
I think that could be okay. It might be a little difficult for you to actually grab onto him, though. It's not like he's gonna get hands,
Well, he's got a mouth. He can grab onto like a belt or something.
I suppose.
All right. So if Jhank is doing something else, hey, Hollyhock, you want to see if you can punt this halfling that's in front of me?
I can give it a try. So yeah, let me just real fast. Sorry, Jhank, you wanted to cast Bestial Spirit? Summon Bestial Spirit, I mean.
To turn Crunchbite into the flying creature.
Yeah, okay. So the air creature. Yep. Okie dokie then. Let's just go ahead and do that. And yeah, Crunchbite is upgraded. I think I grabbed the wrong version of the spell when I put it in your thing. Or no, did I? No? Okay. Oh, here we go. Bestial Spirit. Right. This is what Crunchbite gets upgraded to in the combat tracker.
Spite is a Digimon.
Now that you mention it, yeah, he kind of is.
Friendly.
Jhank is now also a Digimon trainer.
Man, I'm having some. Having some problems. It's not doing quite what I want it to do, but I recall enough of this that I think I'll just use Crunchbite's standard stuff and I'll up it as necessary. All right. So Usk, is yours just saying the is saying what you said, or did you want to do anything else? Because talking is your free action.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
No worries. I'll try Hollyhock's halfling punt then. She'll go over here, and her sword. She might go golf swing instead. Let's see. Her sword, but with disadvantage. Not a hit. And she does have a second attack, correct?
I mean, if she's a fighter and she's
Yeah.
at our level, then yes.
Yes, she does. Sorry, just double checking. That one's a hit.
Hey.
And it goes straight through the illusion.
Okay.
So this version is gone.
So I picked right.
I don't
Maybe,
think
unless
you
they
did.
mixed it up.
Yeah, well, let me have this for a moment.
All right.
Could
All right.
also be like some illusions are on one side and some are on the other.
Yeah.
I'm
or it could-
assuming they're not all here at all. It's fine. Let me have a second.
Okay.
All right, let me roll initiative then.
Well, hold on. I didn't get my thing.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, Vic. I'm sorry. Brain not function. I don't know why I thought you.
I've also got my own thing as well.
Okay.
But I'm able to have. But Crunchbite can Crunchbite and Jhank can be positioned up in the head, right?
Sure. Y'all are up here. Okay. So, Victor, Usk, what are you doing?
Call lightning.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like Ivar on the left side.
Okay.
So he needs to make a dexterity save.
Yeah, that's not a thing Ivar is good at.
That's what I'm hoping.
That's a nat 1.
All right. And that's going to be 3d10.
Okay. The illusion dissipates.
All right.
It's all illusions all the way down.
They're
Yep.
not here at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, now that that's happened. Oh, sorry. I should wait till Usk has done his thing.
No, now that I've seen that, I'll hold my thing.
All
Sure.
right.
Okay.
The Merlon is going to pat Yuliy on the cheek, and you feel the hand just go straight through it. And he says, well, now that you know that we're all not really here, although my remnants are, I would like to reiterate our deal just so that if your friend does want to stay alive, if you want to keep him alive, maybe we can come to this contractual obligation, which, I might add, enforces our side of things to make sure that your friend stays alive.
Yeah, but maybe you should stop being a coward and actually be here.
Cowards win wars.
That's spoken like a very firm belief. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to enjoy seeing you in flesh and blood.
Mm.
What
Mostly
alignment are you again, Yuliy?
I'm annoyed. Shush.
Yes,
John-
annoying, and that's why you want to see blood spilled.
I didn't say anything like spilling blood. Flesh and blood is a saying. It actually is.
Yeah.
Jhank
It was implied, though.
Don't put words in my mouth.
There's a thing called unspoken premises.
Mhm. Jawa, you were saying something?
Yeah, Jhank will mutter something in one of his non-common languages, something about how he had no intention of signing some stupid contract anyway.
What language?
Let's go with deep speech.
Deep speech? Okay. Nobody will understand that then.
Well, he wasn't muttering it very loudly anyway, but...
Fair enough.
Look, most of my companions are allergic to contracts as a matter of principle, but I'll sign it if that's what gets us to the next stage of this.
At the very least, I need yours and I need Victor's. Can we at least reach that arrangement?
Victor?
So what happens if I sign Victor's name?
Not much
It's a
happens,
good question.
probably.
Let's do it.
You really want to test this now?
Why not? Let's see.
Because this contract is magically binding and it might mess things up?
It's not the first
That is-
contract he's made.
That is a point. I mean, we're here to sign the contract, but they're not physically here.
What do I know about this sort of contract? It doesn't look like much.
You know, these things are actually not, they're kind of bog standard with those who dwell in the realm of law magic. Like they're not unheard of. You usually have to get a hieromancer to actually like fill out all the paperwork. Most people can't just do it on their own. But they are pretty strictly binding, and they there's whole sort of fields dedicated to or whole sort of magical theories dedicated to interpretations of them and dealing with their consequences, which are generally pretty bad for breaking them.
And this contract only requires us to basically show up to the meeting, right?
Pretty much, yes. With Victor and with the book.
Mhm.
All right.
And
right.
as for their signatures, they pre-signed. So that their signatures are already on there and binding. Merlin was just being a show-off.
Yeah, that's
None of the others signed, but their signatures were also on there.
He's being an ice hole, his
Yes.
friend keeps saying.
Yes.
Okay.
I really am curious if I signed Victor's name, if it would affect me or him, or neither.
I think they know which one of us is which, so.
Do they though? Do
Yes.
they?
They're-
Pretty sure.
why wouldn't they?
I mean,
Well,
kind of
considering
basis-
you walked right up to me and handed it to me and said, "We're going to need your signature first, Victor."
did they?
I thought you were in the way of him, so he handed it to you to hand it
Nope.
to him.
No.
Nope. Handed it to Lander.
Yeah, and that's why I started
Yeah.
freaking out.
Because
Oh,
I was here and he could have just walked around me.
All right, Victor, if you're really going to sign this, I trust you.
okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm on board.
All right.
Otherwise, I'm going to start zapping more with the lightning.
Mm-hmm.
Not me, hopefully. I am over here.
No. You're still on the nice list.
In that case,
Usk and Lander will sign the contract.
I
Alright.
sign it using Victor's name.
all right. He will approach again, taking a bit of a winding path through everything, stepping on some, not stepping on others.
Some of them were fake, huh?
He
Wow. He is an illusion.
Yes. He upon getting your signatures and rolling up the contract, which disappears as he sort of puts it into his jacket pocket. The halfling Merlon says, "Well, 3 days only gives me so much time to make glyphs of warding." And he takes a moment, steps over onto actually the one right nearest the stairs, and you see a big explosion, and the 20-foot radius covers everything, but despite the fact that y'all were all well within range. No damage to any of you. And he says, some I keep invisible, some are programmed, some are scrolls I happen to purchase. It's all complicated. I'm an illusionist. I have to have my tricks.
How have I never heard of you? I am honestly... You know what? I might have to recommend you to the Castellanters. If you are genuinely this skilled and this prepared, I might... If you ever come to work for the Castellanters, I might be a reference.
Well, I would appreciate that greatly, Usk.
If he's an illusion, am I allowed to shoot him?
Yeah, sure.
You can try!
I mean, it'll just go through him, but, I mean, if it'll make you feel better.
Catharsis! It's a thing!
Exactly!
I apologize for them.
No, it's understandable. I have that way with people. That's why I'm in this line of business. Nobody really cares if I piss off criminals. Not to imply that any of you are criminals, just
adversaries, let's say.
Yes, better phrasing. Let me just do something real fast. You'd have to roll with disadvantage on both of those, but
dropped to 20, got an 18.
Yeah, that's fair. It goes through, and yeah, the illusion dissipates. But you hear him say as he finishes, "Oh, and I was going to jump off to give you a show."
Yeah, it doesn't have the same effect as if we are responsible.
Arsis!
Y'all are children.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, would you prefer me to have existential crises every 2 hours, or do you want me to have some fun with this? I have preference to the first one.
We were basically born like less than a week ago.
I mean, yeah, you've got a point there.
Yeah, okay.
See, we have an agreement.
Curse your technical logic.
Some might argue it's the best kind.
Oh, it definitely is.
Still disadvantage. Gotta roll again.
Give me a moment, because that will be pretty easy with the thing I'm doing.
What are you doing?
I'm whispering to Yuliy.
Oh, I see.
No!
Supplicant of Truth is saying something to her, or what?
So I
need more information on this guy.
Yeah,
Merlin Yanish. I need to put out feelers on... I need to get a dossier on this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? I think we should do that.
So next time something like this happens, where there's an illusion cast,
don't change. My next don't change at all.
Well, I have
I know.
an idea, and that is to cast Scalder's Speedy Courier and make them the recipient, because it appears next to them. So if they're actually there, it'll appear next to them. If they're not, it won't. It'll be somewhere else.
That is a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
You won't need to do that because...
Well, no, not this time.
No, I don't... I mean, not at this moment either, because from the statue of the Lady Dreaming to the south, you see a great display of lights going off. Basically magical fireworks. And you can see just barely from your viewpoint on top of this, 4 figures standing on the head of the Lady Dreaming. And then they vanish as they are teleported out of Waterdeep.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't have. Basically, it's only to tell if an illusion around us
Mhm.
is actually the real person, because I can't tell where it goes unless I
that's
can
true.
actually visibly see it.
Right,
Dang, that's a heck of a range to control all those illusions from another statue miles away.
Most of them were set up in advance, and so here's the big thing. Remember what I said about those shoulders? What they were?
Yeah.
Lights.
Yeah.
Magical lights are real good for illusions.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the Supplicant of Truth, Yuliy, you cleave them in half, and they do not look at all nonplussed about it. They don't really seem to care.
So, okay. All
Oh,
right.
people seem to really like telling me what they think I should be doing.
I think
Friend of
you're doing
yours?
great.
Not the point, Jhank. But I appreciate it.
Is this about your dad?
No. No.
Is this about you being a paladin?
No.
Okay.
This is about owing somebody money.
No.
Just
Okay,
seems like
I'm
you've got
good.
a lot of anger issues recently, and if it is a genuine concern if that's a thing.
I don't like not understanding, and I think you all can understand that there's a lot of that going around.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely,
Mhm.
100%.
Join the team.
This
join the
was
team.
this was
Like
amazingly
I said,
frustrating.
I'm pretty sure you all understand. And being told that and the word and
Yeah.
So what did they tell you to do?
that's word for word what happens.
I hope you're not all finding this really frustrating, because I did kind of design this one to be frustrating because he's an illusionist.
No, I love it. He's frustrated for those reasons that I've stated.
I kind of I wanted to make a guy that you all could feel pretty good about, kicking his ass later.
Oh,
Oh,
Din,
definitely.
Din,
Yeah,
Din,
we're all on
please.
board for.
I love him as a concept, but since I'm on the opposite side, I have to say that I do want to punch him in the face.
I know. I just, like I said, I hope this wasn't too frustrating as far as a combat scenario happening and all that stuff.
The GM made him to be a punchable
You know,
face. We can all take
learning-
comfort in that.
Yes.
Learning that the nearby one was an illusion did make me feel a lot better about how retroactively I realized, oh wait, yeah, I probably should have taken up the offer to try and punt him off the statue, but
Yeah, no worries. No worries, and y'all will have an opportunity to get back your spell slots and stuff. I'm not gonna punish you for this.
Yeah. No.
And this is a super minor note, but I did have a potential hint as to where they actually were, and that was there was some letters carved into the amulet that was left, and it was TLD for the Lady Dreaming. Unfortunately, no one rolled high enough on perception, and I couldn't find a way to nobody ever brought that amulet out again.
Oh yeah, no, I completely forgot.
We
we
never
had
really
that
thought to investigate it.
next time we'll definitely need to think more about.
No.
Well,
It's-
I mean,
it's
you
on
know.
me. It's on me. There's the the DM rule of you have to give at least 3 hints because it's really easy to miss stuff in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clues
I mean,
without
you can't-
context aren't clues.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can't make taking him out too easy.
Exactly, but it's complicated. I
Yeah,
tried to have more stuff, but it's difficult. I'm not good at mysteries.
I am genuinely serious about going to the Castle Enter, my Castle Enters, and requesting a dossier on one Merlin Yanish.
Okay. Yeah, you can go for it.
Let me know if you want to send him something.
Nah,
I can.
but I'm just thinking if he's a mercenary, man, if we could get him on our side at some point. Because he's good. He's the best illusionist I've ever seen.
He's good with prep.
He might be the only illusionist I've ever seen.
The rest were fakes.
No, objectively not true because Sola is also an illusionist, the drow in Skullport who helped y'all kill the Castellanter.
It wasn't me. That was past me. He was now dead.
Yes, but you did still meet her recently.
She's great.
Yep. Haven't seen her use magic though.
That's true. That is true.
Still, like I have to respect the hustle here.
Yeah.
He does what he can. All right. So with that contract settled, with Victor and Usk having signed,
I heard some air quotes there.
yeah, I was trying to. What would you all like to do now? You have, for the time being, resolved this plot point.
Yeah, we're not going to hear from them for a few days.
Mm-hmm.
You know, call lightning really makes a nice shade in the bright sunny day.
It just brings over a cloud, or
Yeah, it creates
Yeah,
a
Forms a
storm
full
cloud above.
cloud.
It's like a 60-foot storm cloud above me.
It's like Pikachu's down attack.
This thing's got range on it, so
I'm pretty sure that it also says that if you use it when it's actually stormy out, you get an extra
D10, yeah.
Yeah.
nice.
Unfortunately, it is a clear winter day. It does mean static's building up real fast, though.
Mm.
I think all I really have at this point is check in with the Castlanters.
Okay.
And then I can't think of any other business in Waterdeep.
Okay.
So what say we take a short rest at the bar down below?
Hey, I like that idea.
Second.
Might as well.
All right. Yep. Sounds good to me. The bar at the bottom is at the feet of greatness. So you all head down carefully. You actually see some people going past you up the stairs because they heard some stuff happening.
There's lightning and magic, and yeah.
Yeah, I think some people are going to be spending a busy couple hours trying to very slowly disarm this statue. Fortunately, Yuliy, you saw the path that he used to get back, so you don't have to risk, getting slapped by a whole bunch of magic again.
I am surprised that he was not just faking that path.
Oh, there's some level of it. It wouldn't matter if he had faked it or not, because he wasn't solid.
Yeah, which is why I'm surprised he didn't fake it to make others think that it was real and have them fall in traps.
Yeah, well, again, it doesn't do him any good to kill you all.
Fair.
He needs Victor alive as best as possible.
And the book.
And
Otherwise,
the book.
He's not getting paid.
Yeah.
Hey, so you should ask your goddess why people think I'm you.
Yeah, you should.
Okay. That's an interesting question to ask.
And why apparently it was good enough to sign on a magical contract with.
All right.
I wonder does it have something to do with Yuliy's dream?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. Now I remember. Okay, so I had randomly thought of an idea of something for you to ask your goddess.
Sure.
So
Randomly.
I have a thing I need to say real fast, and it is that so Victor, your restriction about contacting your goddess and asking questions, that does not apply in Waterdeep, because it is it is out of the clutches of Hallister.
Nice.
So just in case that was a worry, don't.
That is a good point.
Well, I guess while you're doing the dossier, I'll be asking some questions.
All right. Okay. Do we want to do that sort of PvP? Just bring that stuff up later?
Yeah, I think
reminds
we're
me.
out of the critical stuff for the session today.
I had like a whole month to do PvP stuff, and I didn't.
No worries.
I am disappointed in myself for that.
Nah, don't worry about it. I've not been great at like encouraging it lately because things have been crazy.
It's been a crazy month.
Yeah.
October and September have both been wild. September because it's the month that everyone in my family has birthdays and anniversaries and stuff. And then October led in with like, oh, good, all of my family is also having surgery.
Ugh.
So
2020, the year that keeps on giving.
it sure is.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy,
my dad had some pretty invasive surgery, and then my mom's getting a tumor removed. So that's cool.
Ugh.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Anyway, we should probably wrap this up.
Probably. Although I do have one last thing that I can do.
Okay.
Because I prepped this one in advance for Yuliy because she had asked about it. So let me go ahead and send this to her. And then we'll see how that works out. If that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Do you want to say which? Sorry, real fast. Do you want to say which wine this was?
This was Mirror Irmer.
Mirror Rorum.
You know what?
It's mirror backwards. It's mirror, then a line, then mirror backwards.
I tried.
It's fine. It's fine. No worries. You find yourself in the wilds of the Forgotten Realms. If you'd known it was going to be so damn cold tonight, you'd have considered getting out of your plate armor, but you still aren't sure if you're comfortable leaving yourself with fewer defenses around these strangers yet. Victor and Lander had accepted you quite quickly into their little traveling party. Too quickly for your tastes. But maybe that was just the remnants of Halrua in you, secretive and secluded and quiet. Perhaps things were different out here, beyond the borders of your former home. Perhaps the people were friendlier and more trusting of strangers. Or perhaps they just wanted you to think that. You wished you could ask your father for advice, but Oberon had been silent in the week since your departure. You had hoped that he'd continue to support you, but your attempts at reaching him in the Feywild had proven unpleasant. When you wore the mask, everything was brilliant, blinding light, and the air itself smelled so saccharine that you could taste it, a taste promptly wiped out by the expulsion of your day's rations. The summer court appeared to be in full bloom, and your body simply could not handle it. You moved closer to the fire that Lander had set up. He had tried for almost an hour to set it up in the old-fashioned way before giving up and simply casting a spell. You probably would have found it funny in a less stressful day. The mercenaries that had tried to claim your life today, however, had put a damper on that. And it only got worse when you looted the bodies and found their contract, signed by your former second-in-command and former friend, Aran. You supposed it would make sense, following your departure. You looked to your two traveling companions. Lander was gazing up at the stars and writing something down on his grand scrolls, some sort of chart by the looks of things, but it was clear that the night was getting to him. Victor, on the other hand, was calculating the price of the haul you had picked up from the mercenaries and checking over a map to see where they might be able to sell your ill-gotten goods. You sigh. Your battle today wouldn't have happened if these two were really trying to lead you into a trap. Yuliy, you say quietly. The two respond, pausing their activities. That's my name, Yuliy. You've all been helpful to me so far, so the least I can do is give you my name. Well, Yuliy, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Victor said with a soft smile. What sort of name is that? Rashomon? Show? Halruin. The two men both pause as you say that. Victor looks concerned and Lander looks ecstatic. So it wasn't destroyed, the human says excitedly, hurriedly opening up another set of scrolls to write down some sort of rambling. I'd like to know absolutely everything you can tell me about the place. Were you temporarily displaced? No, that wouldn't explain the mercenaries. So the kingdom must have been hidden, correct? What sort of magic was used? Do you have any artifacts that I could examine from your time there? You frown at Lander and feel your knuckles going white as you grip your knees. You got my name and where I'm from, and if you really want an artifact, I have a knife you can stick up your... Victor places a hand on Lander's shoulder and pulls the man back. Yuliy is clearly going through a lot right now, friend. Let her share with us on her own terms. Lander stops and sits back down, rolling up his scrolls. My apologies. My master told me stories of Halrua and they intrigued me. I was overzealous and apologize for that outburst. You sit, stewing for a few moments before finally sighing again. Apology accepted. Well, I don't know about you all, but I'm exhausted. I think I'm going to break early. We should all probably get some sleep. It's a very long way to Waterdeep, and I want to get there before winter. Good night, Lander. Oh, Victor goes over to his bags and sorts through things before finally pulling out a bottle. And a small gift for you, Yuliy. Welcome to our little adventuring party. Good night. You look at the bottle of wine you were handed. Mirror Rorum. You set it down next to you as your eyes follow Victor to his tent. He always seemed to be doing something before his nightly meditation. The wind catches the flap of his tent and you see him writing in a book of some kind. Then you see the ink slide off the page and pool back into his inkwell. a strange smile crossing Victor's face. You checked to make sure Lander left to his own tent before pulling out the font of the Fey King and opening the wine you were just given. It was important to remember the night you were officially welcomed into this group. But more importantly, you wanted to make sure you remembered that half-elf's book and how it worked.
Ooh, boy.
Wait a second.
Hold on.
Ooh.
Oh.
So Victor and I body swapped.
We,
Oh.
Wow.
I kind of saw that coming.
Also, I totally called it with your father being Oberon.
Interesting.
Also, another appreciation to have is this is the first time we've gotten something that's in clear timeline with something else we've gotten. This
Yeah,
goes-
kinda.
This is
This
the
matches up
same
with the
time?
Victor page where he mentioned that Yuliy first finally said her name.
Yeah.
We finally got a corroboration.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. I was a half elf?
You were me, and I was you.
Huh.
And we are all together.
But why?
You know, I probably would be questioning this more if we didn't have the girl that we have with us right now. Oh, man.
I 100% thought it too. That's the first thing I thought of when I heard the sword shard that we had.
So yeah, one of the sort of last big twists has been at least partially uncovered.
Oh, one of the last few, huh?
Yeah, I said there were basically two big twists left for the like actual curse element to it, and so this is one of them. Your past does not define you.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, for all
Well,
purposes here, as far as we're able to control it, Victor is Victor and Lander is Lander, as they are now.
Mm-hmm.
It still kind of raises a question that might be important as to
Yeah.
the reason why. But
Yeah, that's an important question to ask, I think.
for now, that will probably have to be it. Thank you for listening to our Spudventures. If you like what you heard, you can find more at youtube.com/Newbiespud or wherever you get your fine podcasts, iTunes, Google Play, or Spotify, etc. We aim to live stream these games every Sunday around 2 p.m. Pacific time at twitch.tv/Newbiespud. If you want to keep up with this and other projects I'm doing, you can follow me on Twitter at Newbiespud. And if you want to support my ability to produce more content like this, please consider supporting me at patreon.com/Newbiespud. See you next time with Shadow Trot Session 6.
Or
Bye-bye.